Hey, welcome. My name is Dan Harsh, and I am the founder and CEO of Concept. In this short video, we are going to address a large concern that is currently being experienced by many companies. That concern is declining inbound leads. If you are experiencing a decline in inbound leads, then stick around for the next few minutes because I am going to address reasons why you may be experiencing this and steps you can take to improve it. Receiving inbound leads is always a good thing. We weren't necessarily expecting them, and then all of a sudden, a good lead shows up in our inbox or our voicemail. Some companies rely heavily on inbound leads for their new sales activity, and when these leads are coming in at an acceptable rate, everything is good. But when our inbound leads slow down and we don't have any other sources of lead generation, things change real quick. So what are some reasons that cause inbound leads to decline? In this video, we're going to focus on 3 reasons. 1, shift in market dynamics. 2, your digital presence. And 3, ineffective lead follow-up and lead nurturing. Having a good understanding of each of these will help us to more effectively focus and address specific areas to improve. So let's take a look at the first reason we listed, shift in market dynamics. This is referring to changes going on in the market. Some of these changes may include economic uncertainty. This could include recession, general uncertainty, rising interest rates. Often when this occurs, companies sit tight and they wait to see what's going to happen before making commitments on new ideas or investments or any other initiatives they may be working on. As a result, they're not as actively pursuing new services or solutions, and that impacts our inbound activity. Another reason could be changes in demand. With market changes, companies' needs change. They have new problems, new needs, new ideas, new processes, and often even new management with new philosophies. As a result, their plans change. They're now seeking new or different solutions, new ideas, or new and different products or services. Another change may include new options for buyers. Perhaps there are new competitors, new products, or new solutions available. There may be more possibilities now for buyers to consider, and as a result, once again, they're not pursuing your product or your service as they did in the past. And lastly, reduced budgets. When markets tighten up, companies' budgets tighten up. Thus, they don't spend as much and they put things on hold. If things are put on hold or there's no available budget, customers are not out seeking new products or new services or solutions. And once again, as a result, we see a decrease in inbound lead activity. So those are some market conditions that may be negatively impacting your inbound lead activity. Another factor that can cause your inbound leads to decline is your digital presence. In other words, how effective is your digital marketing at keeping your product, your service, and your brand relevant and current in the market? A major area to address regarding your digital presence is your content. Maybe your content is getting stale. Perhaps it's not as compelling as it once was. The market may be looking for something new or different. Perhaps they're used to seeing the same things come from your company. Maybe they're looking for something new or fresh. Another area is you may be targeting the wrong markets, or maybe the right markets, but the wrong messaging. You want to make sure your messaging is addressing the real pain points of the market. There may be different pain points, interests, or needs based on the specific market you are targeting. Our job as marketers is to ensure we understand each market and then align our message accordingly. Our websites are another area to address. Over time, they become outdated, and this can be another contributor to a decrease in inbound lead activity. Search engines are regularly updating their algorithms. If we don't keep our web pages current and updated over time, they don't get as readily noticed by the search engines. As a result, you experience a decline in traffic hitting your website. Another area that could be contributing to a decline in inbound leads is not staying current with market trends. This would include things like staying on top of search algorithms, as we just talked about, keeping a pulse on the market's pain points, their needs, concerns. Another good example of keeping current with market trends includes staying informed about new technologies. There are a lot of technologies and tools that can increase your marketing group's productivity and even decrease cost. Another example may include continuing to rely on how you used to do things and not willing to accept change. Staying on top of market trends can also help you with keeping your content relevant. The marketing channels you're utilizing and the overall volume of activities you are generating is another critical factor that can contribute to a decline in inbound activity. Increasing our marketing channels enables us to extend our reach. We don't always know which platform or channels prospects and customers will be engaging. Multiple channels creates more opportunity for customers and prospects to interact or engage with our content. It creates more touch points. In addition, sometimes we simply need to increase our overall volume of output. Are we generating enough activities to drive the level of inbound results we desire? So there are several things for you to evaluate regarding your digital presence. And lastly, the number one area most companies struggle with is not effectively following up with or nurturing the leads they do have. When a lead comes in, we must have a reliable process to stay in front of them and not just for the next 30 days. We need a process that strategically stays in front of our leads until we realize they're no longer a candidate for our product or our service. You may be sitting on leads right now that are in the market for your product or your service, but perhaps you're just not staying in front of them as often or as effectively as you should, and therefore you're unaware of the opportunity. A big part of successful sales is being at the right place at the right time. This can be accomplished through discipline, process, consistency, and volume. So we discussed 3 potential reasons that could be contributing to a slowdown in inbound lead activity. 1 was shift in market dynamics, 2, digital presence, and 3, ineffective lead follow-up and nurturing. So what are some steps we can take to improve our overall inbound lead activity? I'm going to share 4 steps that I think will help point you to specific things you can do to improve your inbound lead activity and your volume. The 4 things we will address are 1, reevaluate your digital footprint. 2, improve your lead nurturing and follow-up. 3, implement or increase your outbound prospecting. And 4, seek expertise. Let's discuss your digital footprint. So what do we mean by reevaluate your digital footprint? Effective digital marketing groups are always evaluating and analyzing their results. This is how they stay current, this is how they stay relevant, and keep a pulse on the market. Some things you can do include reevaluate and optimize your website for SEO. Is your website still current? And is it optimized for the search engines? There's specialists out there that are very good at optimizing websites. Ensuring your website is optimized for SEO, it will drive traffic to your website and improve your inbound lead activity. As we shared a few minutes ago, search engines are continually changing their algorithms. As a result, you must periodically ensure your site is optimized. Another area to address is your data. First and foremost, do you have good data? Secondly, does your data lend itself to being segmented, for example, by company size, needs, or even industry, or some other category or group? By segmenting your data on certain demographics or needs, etc., you can create and align specific messaging targeted for those specific needs of those groups. With regards to messaging, for inbound lead activity, your message should either solve a problem or educate the user. When addressing inbound activity, your messaging should not be designed to sell your product or your service, but rather to educate the prospect or help them solve a problem. Messaging is always a critical component because there are so many considerations that go into messaging. It's critical that your messaging always align with your target market. To do this, you must know who your target audience is and what their needs and or pains are. Remember, one message does not fit all. Another critical area to evaluate is your content. Quality content attracts potential customers by providing valuable information that helps them with their needs. Evaluate your content to ensure it's creative, it's compelling, and it's consistent. As we mentioned earlier, your content should be designed to either educate the user or help them solve a problem. Keep your content fresh and relevant for your target audience. Another area to evaluate under your digital footprint are the channels you are using and the overall level of activities you are generating. Are you generating enough overall activity, and are you generating these activities in the right channels? We don't always know where the prospects are going or when they are going to be there. Sometimes certain channels are active and sometimes other channels are active. Keeping a pulse on the market will help you stay on top of emerging channels. Secondly, you may simply need to increase your overall activity level. There are a few ways to increase leads. You can do it through quantity. You can also do it through quality. Quality can mean better content, more relevance, more targeted approach, better utilization of channels, and a better utilization of budget. And lastly, analyze, evaluate, and adjust. Review what's working and what's not working. Identify which channels you're utilizing the most and which channels are returning you the highest results. Also, are there trends in the leads you are generating? For example, are there any similarities in company size, industry, job title? This gets back to what we were talking about earlier with regards to segmenting our data. Lastly, are you noticing any trends on messaging? Is there a certain message or topic that seems to be generating higher engagement and interest levels? So there are several things to evaluate under your digital footprint. Another area to address when inbound leads are slowing down is the effectiveness of your lead nurture and lead follow-up program or process. Maybe the first question to answer is, do you have a lead nurture program and a lead follow-up process? As I shared a few minutes ago, this is the number one area we witness companies struggling with. It is a struggle because they don't have a process in place that is consistent and reliable. Not all leads turn into sales. Leads immediately demand follow-up and then require nurturing. You may be sitting on leads right now that have great potential, but simply not effectively working them. Many companies are waiting and hoping that one of the new leads that come in will be hot and turn to a quick sale versus working the leads that came in last month or 3 to 6 months ago and nurturing them to a sale. Here is a link I did to a video titled The Value of Lead Follow-Up. In this video, I talk about leads versus sales, and I go into detail about things to consider when setting up a lead follow-up process. In order to implement an effective and efficient lead nurture program, you must leverage CRM. All of this can be automated by setting up the correct workflows and automation. Implementing CRM, workflows, automation, it will have a very positive impact on your overall ability to stay on top of leads. Another area to address is your outbound prospecting. When inbound activity is down, it may be a good time to consider implementing or increasing your outbound prospecting. Outbound allows you to become more proactive. You can also be very specific with who you are targeting and very strategic with your messaging. This may also yield you higher conversion rates. Implementing or increasing your outbound efforts also provides you with a more balanced approach, not putting all your eggs and relying on inbound leads. Lastly, it may give you an edge over the competition. By being more proactive, you are keeping your name out in front of the market, keeping top of mind awareness. The last step we are going to discuss in helping improve your inbound lead activity is seek expertise. If after reviewing some of the things we've discussed, if you feel you don't have the expertise, the resources, or bandwidth to carry out some of these functions, seek an outside partner. Partner with a firm that are experts in these areas. Have them help you prioritize and address some of the key areas we've discussed. Here's a link to a video we did titled 5 Crucial Questions to Ask Before Choosing a Lead Generation Partner. If you consider seeking outside support for some of the things we discussed, this video will help you choose the right partner for you. To summarize or highlight some of the things we discussed, one is you're not alone. All companies have ups and downs. Digital marketing and lead generation, it's not something you simply turn on and it does everything right all the time. Marketing in today's business climate is very dynamic. It continually requires tweaking and evaluating based on market climate and conditions. 2, the market today is more educated. They're more informed. They're more demanding than they were a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. This forces us to be more creative and more effective at understanding their needs and putting valuable content in front of them. Thirdly, buyers and prospects move around on different social platforms, searching by all kinds of keywords, and their needs and demands are continually changing. Next, your content is key. Make it creative, make it compelling, make it consistent. Your content should be geared toward the specific market you are targeting. One size does not fit all. Know what the pains are of your market and create content that addresses those pains or those needs. Leverage multiple channels and make your messaging appropriate for the channel and for the target market. We also discussed that you may simply need to increase your overall activity levels. And lastly, seek outside expertise to help with bandwidth, skill set, or any other internal needs that you may have. So here's the challenge of digital marketing. The prospect controls the time and the place. They determine where they are going to seek information, they determine when they will seek information, and they determine if and what they are going to engage in. So if this is the challenge, here's our task. Our task is we must be where they will be. We must be there when they will be there. And we must have what they're looking for. And then to compound the challenge, this is often a moving target. This is why our digital marketing efforts must continually be reevaluated, analyzed, and refreshed. Well, hopefully this information has been helpful to you and you are walking away with ideas and steps you can take and implement inside your sales and marketing group. Thanks for watching.